Yeah. This is Point Black. Coming in hard and off the guard. Coming with the flow straight to the barrio. And coming with the heat to the motherfucking street. This is pt.1 Point Black. National News. The late edition. And the ghetto edition as well. You know what I'm saying? Today we see a whole lot of shit going on. Biden up there talking all kinds of garbage, you know what I'm saying, about the food prices and all this and that. But all this was created by the demon in him and the rest of his cronies all across the eastern seaboard. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Republican Party, we see a coup within the group, and we have to flush them out because this is our answers and shit, and black people need to wake up and understand that your people fought for that party, and that same party gave you what you call your civil rights. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the demon Democrats. The only reason the demon Democrats even was involved going back to LBJ was because LBJ hands were forced by the constant pressure of of the Republicans and the black people that were involved with a republic type of party and government ideas that they were bringing in and had been famous for many years, winning many offices and many presidency. When the demon Democrats came in, they came in with the bullshit all the way back to Lincoln, say Abraham Lincoln, and all that. They took over and they started dominating and making sure that they keep domination by murder, blood sucking, and Luciferian garbage. You see? So therefore, they went into that type of mind frame to keep their power. When somebody would threaten their power, they would kill them. When everybody would threaten their power, they would try to assassinate them. It could even be a demon Democrat himself. You know what I'm saying? And even when you try to do anything at all, they would do that. So to keep the heat off of themselves from personally doing it themselves and being caught, they created the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, as a terrorist, as a group that is a terrorist group within our country, that was actually created by those in our government calling themselves lawmakers and calling themselves Democrats. So they created the KKK in order to terrorize the black people from ever voting, Republican, and trying to completely stomp out the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? This is why they went. But as time went on and the affiliation got closer and closer to them in the demon Democrats, they says to distance themselves from the KKK, which that doesn't make any sense because whether you distance yourself or not, you were the one who created it. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. Even going back to LBJ. LBJ did the same shit. You know what I'm saying? He was a demon Democrat. You know what I'm saying? He was a demon Democrat. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And he did not want to give black people, their civil right. But with Martin Luther King and the different people and these different black activists who had a Republican mind frame were putting so much pressure and had won so many different challenges, you know what I'm saying, to the point where LBJ had no other way of doing it, even though he probably did it to John F. Kennedy to make sure that he doesn't do it. And many other secrets that they had that were being revealed by Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? But LBJ made sure that he did not, want to give that up. The only reason the demon Democrats, like I said again, was able to give it up is because they got caught up in the political scene. But once he signed it, he even before he signed it, he was calling black people Negroes and niggers and all right on the podium when I was a kid listening to him with his little dumbass speech looking like a fucking lead head fucking fool. You know what I'm saying? But and a demon. But at the same time, he was on the podium doing that, but then he was forced into signing the bill. But then he said, you know what? These niggas think that they won everything. They think that they won their little agenda and this and that and a third. And, you know what I'm saying? I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we're going to give them, leaders that look like them and so on, to give them a great speech, but never give them anything at all to make them feel good in the feel good speeches that these black dumb idiots were giving us, joined with their party, coming out giving us these civil rights and all this different stuff created to make us feel good, but then nothing never really happened. And what proved that? COVID-19. So boom, he did the same thing. He made sure that he created the Black Caucus Party. You know what I'm saying? That we call the Black Caucus Party right now. He created them in order to create civil rights leaders and leaders who will come out and tell you a good story, but nothing never changes. It stays the same and gets worse. So that's the evidence of that bullshit. And then even if they were or might have been Republicans that he recruited, you know what I'm saying, as black people, they sold us out. You know what I'm saying? So they all are sellouts and they're evil and they're wicked, just like the demon Democrat Caucasian himself, who was running in the government. Not every single Caucasian, but those that are in government that is running the show. Sad to say that they are white, but you know what I'm saying, and sad to say that they are black. You know what I'm saying? But they're up in there and their job was to give you a sing and a dance, a good speech, and nothing never changed. It always be just a little bit, and then nothing at all, and then a little bit, then nothing at all, then it get worse, then it get worse, then it get worse, then they come in and say they're gonna do something about it, and nothing never changed. Still, that was the game that LBJ created the Black Caucus dummies for, Black Caucus Party for them to do that, and they all were what? Democrats. Look it up. Every single one of them. And the Black Caucus Party is just another branch or another creation of the demon Democrats themselves to create a party of black people, giving them, ends in their democratic slave masters party, in which really most of them were slave masters, these Democrats. You know what I'm saying? They were racist, Ku Klux Klan, redneck, Grand Pooh Bah. You know what I'm saying? So now they let these black people in and then call them, instead of just calling them a caucus party, they gave them the name the Black Caucus Party. And their job was to persuade black people into voting only Democrat for 40 something and 100 years. And that's how they was able to maintain the rule, because the majority of the power vote at many times were the black vote. And when black people was allowed to vote after the Ku Klux Klan tried to destroy and kill them all so they never vote, and tried to kill every bill to give them the right to vote, you know what I'm saying? They still left stipulations in there that they have to go every year and vote on to see black people can still keep voting. So that means you still under some form of slave mastical overstanding, you know what I'm saying, in their group, you know what I mean? And black people help them. And calling themselves civil rights leaders and black dummies. You know what I'm saying? Switching sides like as if that's how you help your people. But at the same time, that's why they still do that. You know what I'm saying? But back then, they were going around literally killing black people and hanging black people and lynching black people and doing all raping women, stealing babies, feeding them to crocodiles and all kinds of garbage to black people, like same as they did in Africa. You know what I'm saying? In the Egypt plateau. You know what I'm saying? They were doing that and intimidating blacks. Whenever a vote come up and black people was about to vote for the Republican, they would send the demon Democrats would send out the Ku Klux Klan to persuade you back into voting for the Democratic Party. And if you didn't, they would lynch you. You know what I'm saying? They would hang you from a tree. You know what I'm saying? The beastly, nasty-handed garbage of the demon Democrats that we see today. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to wake up past that group. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand as black people that the Republican Party was created by black people in order to give all people in America who were not their group, you know what I'm saying, a chance to run for presidency. And they win many times till they even created a party. I guess just didn't want to be a part of the Black Republican Party. So they created the Popular Party. You know what I'm saying? And they had a popular party and a this party where they came first, second, or third. But the black people, supported the Republican Party in its fullness thereof. And that's why they created the Ku Klux Klan. So whenever they vote or thing come up, and they figured that most of the black people at that time, because it was hundreds of thousands of black people here that would vote for, and they could sway the vote by their votes, how many? You know what I'm saying? Now they cease, like Biden now cease to create a new voting population, and this new voting population is the South American people that he's going to try to incorporate into it, so when they vote for him. Coming in with another one.